Today I'm going to make a batch of my homemade diesel fuel out of used motor oil and gasoline. But first I want to show you the carbon left behind from the previous batch. It's almost like thick grease or ink. You can see some of it right there on the tote. So let's get that out of there and get ready for the next batch. All clean, and it's okay to leave a little bit behind. So this is gasoline I get from junkyards for $1 a gallon for the stale gas. So now I'm going to pump about 30 gallons into this tote. That's my winter blend for my truck. Now I'm pumping the first stage filtered motor oil. Okay, now we have it filled with gas and filled it with oil up to about 250 gallons. Now it's time to mix it. Make sure you mix it real good. Now it's time to check the viscosity with my homemade dipper and check to see if I need to add more gas or oil to the mix. Now let it sit for at least 2 weeks. Since I have 2 batches already made of homemade diesel fuel of motor oil and gasoline, they're both settling, so all the carbon and dirt settles to the bottom of both of these. They still have to sit a little bit longer, but I'm out of my first stage filtered motor oil, so I just brought in a full tote of raw motor oil I get from local garages. I'm going to get my pump set up to start filtering it the first stage. Now I got my small pump here, and I'm going to put the battery charger for the pump on for 4 hours on slow charge. I'm going to pump it up into this barrel with a bed sheet to filter most of the garbage out of it. There it is, draining into the tote. So every night after work and every morning before I leave for work, I'm going to reset this timer for about between 2 to 4 hours until this tote is filled. This batch was all done. I pumped it out, so now it's time to make another batch. I almost have enough motor oil filtered. This is the raw motor oil I get from local garages for free, getting pumped through this barrel with a bed sheet. And it's filtering down through under gravity, down under the barrel into the tote. So I gotta wait till I get about 275 gallons of used motor oil. But until that's done, let's get this cleaned out and ready. So there's the sludge left over from the previous batch. That's what we're trying to filter out. Now you don't have to do this, but I usually put about 1 gallon of gas and slosh it around to clean up anything left. There you go, all clean. This is gasoline I buy from junkyards for $1 a gallon. I'm going to pump this gas from this tote. Now I'm pumping about 30 gallons of stale gas into the tote. The rest of the tote was used motor oil. Now you mix it up. All done. It's winter time, so I gotta start making some more black diesel for heating my house. So let's get started. I just pumped this batch out, so it's time to make another batch. So I already ran some oil, but I'm out, so I just put these 2 totes of used motor oil in here. These totes I put in here about 2 weeks ago. They have already been sitting for 2 weeks to let all the water and sludge settle to the bottom. So now I gotta filter this raw motor oil into my first stage motor oil. Let's get this bedsheet cleaned out of junk to filter more oil. There we go, all cleaned out. So I got my pump in the tote, but make sure it's not all the way to the bottom. And I'm going to pump it up into the bedsheet filter here, my first stage filter. So let's start with 12 hours on 10 amps for its first cycle. And I'll pick up once this is full.